Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are doing well. So, I welcome you again to your psychology class, and today we'll start chapter number 2 from your NCERT book. And the name of the chapter is Methods of Inquiry in Psychology. You have read in the first chapter that psychology is the study of experiences, behaviors, and mental processes. You may now be curious to know how psychologists study these phenomena. In other words, what methods are used to study behavior and mental processes. And like all scientists, psychologists also seek to describe, predict, explain, and control what they study. For this, psychologists rely on formal, systematic observations to address their questions. Basically, it is the methodology that makes psychology a scientific subject. Psychologists use variety of research methods because questions about human behavior are numerous and all of them cannot be studied by a single method. Methods such as observation, experimental, correlational research, survey, psychological testing, and case study are more frequently used to study the problems of psychology. And this chapter will familiarize you with the goals of psychological inquiry, the nature of information or data that we collect in psychological studies, the diverse range of methodological devices available for the study of psychology, and some important issues related to psychological studies. So, first of all, let's start with the goals of psychological inquiry. Psychological inquiry means psychological research. Actually, there are 5 goals of psychological inquiry, that is, description, prediction, explanation, control, and application. And now we'll do all of them one by one. So, let's start with the first goal of psychological inquiry, that is, description. Actually, describing things is something we all do every day, but in psychology, it is slightly different. In a psychological study, we attempt to describe a behavior or a phenomena as accurately as possible, and this helps in distinguishing a particular behavior from other behaviors. All right. For example, the researcher may be interested in observing the study habits among students, and now these study habits may consist of different kind of behaviors. For example, attending all your classes regularly, submitting assignments on time, planning your study schedule, studying according to the set schedule, revising your work on a daily basis, etc. So, the researcher needs to describe his or her meaning of study habits, means which study habit he or she wants to study. For example, whether he wants to study the habit of submitting assignments on time or he wants to study the habit of planning your study schedule. Alright, so this is basically the concept of description. And now the second goal of psychological inquiry is prediction. Now, if we look at this word prediction, it means forecast or to think. And if you are able to understand and describe the behavior accurately, then you will be able to know the relationship of a particular behavior with other types of behavior in a better way. Now, if we take the same example in which the researcher is interested in observing the study habits among students, so here, if the researcher comes to know that a particular child devotes more time for study, so the researcher can predict the behavior or the result of that child. Obviously, the child who will devote more time for study, the result will be positive, the result will be good, he will score good marks. All right. Now, the third goal of psychological inquiry is explanation. Psychologists are also interested in explaining behavior in addition to merely describing it. Actually, explaining behavior goes hand in hand with describing it, and this helps in providing answers to questions about why people react in a certain way, why they do the things they do, and the factors which affect their personality, their mental health, their actions, etc. For example, what makes some students more attentive in the class or what makes some students score good marks in exams. So basically, there may be number of factors which may help the child to score good marks in exams than other. For example, the family environment is very good. His parents are very cooperative. They spend a lot of time with the child while he studies. So these are some of the factors that affect the behavior of the child. Okay. So basically, the purpose of this goal is to study the cause and effect relationship between two variables, objects, or events. The fourth goal of psychological inquiry is control. Psychology aims to change, influence, or control behavior to make positive, constructive, and meaningful changes in people's lives and to influence their behavior for the better. And this is the most important goal of psychological inquiry. Control basically refers to three things: making a particular behavior happen, reducing it, or enhancing it. For example, you can allow the number of hours devoted to study to be the same, or you can reduce them, or there may be an increase in the study hours. For example, a child who is not getting good marks in exams, so his this kind of behavior can be controlled. It can be changed by changing his timetable, by adding more study hours to his timetable. All right. And now, the last and the most important goal of the psychological inquiry is application. And it basically means the application of the principles and the outcomes of your research in the real life setting to bring out positive changes in the lives of people. For example, if through your research you get to know that if we modify the timetable or the study schedule of the child, then the child can improve, child can get good marks. So this outcome, this result should basically be applied in the real life setting to bring out the positive change in the lives of the students. So, these were the five goals of psychological inquiry, and I hope you have understood everything. And this is all for today, and we'll meet once again in a new video with a new topic. Till then, take care, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.